Hello, everyone. I am Anya. This is a game as part of the Open Heart Gaming calendar in the Open Gaming Weekend, I think it is called. Uh, I'm here with Dominik and David. We are going to be playing Old School Essentials, and I'm just gonna go through some uh, stuff that we have to check in first regarding um, our safety tools. Okay, hello Dominic, hello David.
Hello.
So, uh, as I let you know in the email, we are going to be using three different safety tools. First one is called Lines and Veils, and I think you went ahead and started filling it. Okay, Lines and Veils is a safety tool that let us establish themes that will be how we will approach certain themes, certain sensitive themes within our games. As you can see in the safety tab in our character keeper, there's a lines column, a veils column, and an ask first column. Lines, themes that are marked as lines are things that we are not going to be touching at all with during our game. Veils are things that we are going to sort of fade to black. We are never going to detail while we're playing. And ask first is that it's things that might make us uncomfortable, but we are okay with it if we get a heads up. Have you used this tool before?
I have. In previous games, it always works out well when we know what we can't and cannot do, or at least the themes and subjects we cannot touch upon.
Okay, okay. Have you already filled your lines and bells?
I have.
Okay, David.
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, so I'm just going to add one more, and I'm going to go ahead and as lines we have homophobia and transphobia, and we have sexual assault and sexual violence. These are things that we are not going to be touching at all in our game. As veils we have harm to pets, harm to domestic animals, racism, sexism, sexual content, and torture. And for ask first, we have injuries and suicide. And I can see you added some notes. Let me just go ahead and check quickly on them.
Well, yeah, some of those notes are from a player who's absent.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, that's a different David who added those notes.
And okay. Okay, sure. Seems like we are in the same page. So that's our first tool, lines and veils. Our second tool will be the X card. X card basically is a fallback system uh, where we stop the narrative and go back to where we stop the narrative or the game itself because something made us uncomfortable, and we will plainly stop and go back to a point where we are all comfortable once again. In order to use it, please call my attention. If you're on camera, you can maybe cross your arms. You can call X card. You can simply ask to stop. But it's really important that we all know that you use X card. You never have to detail why you X carded something, what's making, but why it is making you uncomfortable. But sometimes it's necessary for us to move forward that you tell us sort of around what we're cutting so that we are all in the same page and that we are not bringing it up again. Um, we are proud if you excard something, we maybe have to add it to our lines and veils. Are we okay with that?
Yep.
Yes, we are.
Okay. And our last tool, our last safety tool is called Open Table. Open table basically means that if your real life gets in the way of the game, if you need to take a breather, if there's something uh, that you need to stop the narrative for yourself, but you don't want to use X card or any reason at all, you feel free to just take a moment and leave the game. But moreover, if we are playing and you determine that this game isn't for you, feel free to go ahead and leave the game. There's no problem. Life is too short for games that you don't like, that you are not enjoying. Are we clear on open table?
Yes.
Okay. So, with that out of the way, uh, let me ask you: have you played OSR games, Old School Essentials, before?
I have, yes.
Okay.
I
Dominik?
have not.
Okay. What's a thing that caught your attention about this listing about the game?
For me, I would say it was kind of that it was outlined as this straightforward one shot with the
Okay.
pre-generated characters, so you didn't really need to rack my brain around all the rules and the intricacies of character creation for something that's completely new to me.
Okay. 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 And David, what caught your attention about the game?
I actually uh, have owned a copy of this module for a long time. I've never read it, but I thought this would be a good chance to see someone else run it.
Okay, 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 okay. Let me tell you, I think it's a great module. But yeah, I'm opening a thing. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, here I am, and I also need to open. Okay, yeah. So, Old School Essentials is basically what's called a retro clone of Dungeons and Dragons BX, a game that I had no experience with at all in its original iteration. But I got really into this style of game. I think last year. Um, Dominic, since you haven't played before, I think that's really important in this game is sort of the time and we tracking certain elements of your inventory and stuff like that, which sounds really boring. And I think it's boring when the games become overwhelming. But we will be trying to do it as light as possible. I will be keeping track of certain of the time that you are spending within the halls of the Blood King, and that will be changing the events that are going on within the castle itself, within the manor itself. Um, this model, as I wrote in the description, is a model dealing with vampires, dealing with the mysterious origin of these creatures, and you will be delving into this ethereal mansion that appears every few years in different parts of the world. We will detail some stuff in a couple seconds, but as you were saying, Dominic, I sent to you the pregens. Did you have a chance to look over them?
I did.
Did any of them catch your attention?
I'm fine with playing any of them. So to me, it's more important that the David gets to play what he wants, and then I'll just pick something that complements, as seeing as we only have two people for this.
Okay, okay. David, which character were you thinking of playing?
Well, I have played a fighter before, so maybe something not a fighter. Let me see. We're gonna be level. I mean, I guess it depends on
Six.
the class. Is everyone 6? Yeah, looks like it. Um, I am happy to try Thief. We'll give Thief a try. I keep thinking that Thief is thought of as historically being kind of underpowered at lower levels compared to the other classes, at least in like OSR discussions that I've seen online. So I'll be curious to see how a thief plays at this level. So I'll go with thief.
Okay, okay, okay. Dominic.
In that case, seeing as the thief is a bit fragile, I'm deciding between maybe taking a fighter to have someone kind of soak up the aggro, or perhaps maybe the cleric, because he does seem to have pretty useful abilities. I think I'm gonna pick the cleric.
Okay, sure. So, give me 1 second. So, feel free to either use the character keeper or use the PDF that I sent you. There's no problem either way. Um, the character keeper does, if you look at row 37, does have this inventory section that's detailing how fast you are able to move given how much equipment you are carrying. So that will be um, that might be clearer for you, but it's not a requirement. So we're going to take then a couple minutes for you to read through the background of the character, see if there's anything that catches your eye as far of your motivations to go into the castle. And after that, we are going to determine which one of these two characters of either the bondsmith and Lucky are looking for their mother within the castle, which is our hook for the day. Also, please see if there's anything about the background that you don't like, if you are just interested in a class, if you would like to change. There's no pronouns or anything specified for the characters, but how you are playing the character. So we're going to take a couple of minutes for that.
Did you accidentally or someone accidentally minimized the thief and kept the fighter?
Ah, sorry. Yes, I did. I did.
Oh, they're cool. Cool.
Sorry, yes. So the background is in the PDF. I did not transcribe the background to the character keeper. Just letting you know. Okay. I'm just waiting for Dominik.
I am here.
Okay, so I'm going to resume recording.
I should turn on the webcam.
Okay. So okay. Hello, Dominic.
Hello.
Okay, so we are going to get started then. So, Lucky Bonesmith. It's been 15 years since the last time the halls of the Blood King, this gigantic spiraling castle reaching into the sky, uh, with walls dripping in blood, has been last seen in this region of the world. 15 years ago, your mother, Bonesmith, Selena Swantis, was lost within the halls, looking to save for some of the villagers of your town, and to end the vampiric curse on the land. But as dawn came, in the single night that the castle was present, she did not came out, and she was lost to you. Since then, you being only but a child at that moment, since then you have become a cleric, and you have made friends with Lucky, a thief. So we're going to start with Lucky. David, could you tell us a bit about Lucky and a bit about how you are feeling standing just a few miles of the castle?
Yeah, so let me see, what do you want to know about Lucky exactly?
Yeah, maybe a bit about your background. How do you think you know Dominic? You know the Bondsmith. Sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, as for me at least, Lucky is a professional beggar who historically has lurked about in the criminal underworld and has kind of leaked and betrayed the secrets of the bad guys to the authorities. So Lucky is kind of a good guy thief. They have grown up in a family of sewer dredgers in the Undercity. They were the smallest and feeblest of 17 siblings, and have somehow managed to grow to a weirdly tall height, and want to transcend their origins by making a ton of money so they can set up an orchard where they will sell a subterranean apple, or at least cultivate it. Um, it says also that I seek to uncover the identity of the necromancer who stole my sister's soul, leaving her a drooling husk. So I don't know if that will come up in this scenario, but that's Lucky. Um, I could understand it if I thought there might be a connection to this necromancer lurking within the bloody halls floating in the sky before me.
Yeah. I'm thinking the vampiric dwellers of the manor certainly have taken people before. They are known to experiment with humans, sometimes abducting them and then bringing them back. So I'm thinking, yeah, that probably has to do something with your sister.
Got it.
And Dominic, could you tell us a bit about the Bonesmith?
Okay, so for the Bonesmith, as mentioned, his mother was taken captive in the vampiric castle when he was young. This led to him and his father, not him, they and their father to far and hard times, and this eventually led to the Bonesmith's father eventually giving them up to the Barak Aridelman uh, or the Dor, where they became accustomed to the life of our cleric and took their new profession in stride. As they got to order, they always wondered what exactly transpired to their matter, but they always just kept doing their job as they were supposed to. They possessed an unnatural attachment to licorice, which the bonesmith takes upon themselves to make and tries to sell it off in whatever opportunity arises.
Okay.
Recently, their father has sent them a mysterious letter urging them to come back home, and I'm gonna say that the letter has to do with them figuring out the whereabouts and perhaps even the status of the bonesmith's matter.
Okay. Okay. Sure. 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 Give me 1 second. Yeah. As I was telling you, this castle hasn't been seen for 15 years. Maybe your father figured out a way to predict when the castle would be here, and so this is the one night. This is the one night that the castle will be visible in this region. This castle appears and disappears from for a single night every so often. So please, both of you, roll 2d10s for me. We are rolling for rumors that you will have heard about this castle. And give me each.
Do we have a dice roller? I'm trying to find
No,
that.
feel free to roll with your own dice or your preferred app. If you have the Oliver Rodeo link open, it does have a dice roller in your top left corner. Let me share my screen. Just Oliver Rodeo. Here in your top left corner, you have a dice
Oh,
tray.
got it. Okay, let me go ahead and log on to that then.
Do we add the both roles together or do we say each one individually?
Each one individually, please.
I got an 8 and a 7.
An 8 and a 7.
You said 2d10?
Okay. 2d10, yes, each
Okay.
one of them individually, please.
Okay, I have a 7 and a 2.
A 7 and a 2. Okay, so Bonesmith. You have heard. I think this is part of the contents of the letter that your father sent to you. Uh, I think your father has told you about other appearances of the castle, and that people seem to have found out that mortals who drink vampiric blood gain undead strength. They return healed. They return more powerful than they left. But you are not clear if this is part of these weird experiments that the vampires are known to run within the walls of the castle. And Lucky, you have heard before that cats fascinate the Blood King. If you present him with a cat, he will treat you well. For both of you, since you both rolled a 7, yeah, this is known to people of the region. The health of the Blood King only remained for the Blood Moon's duration. Tonight is the Blood Moon, so you only have a few hours to do whatever it is that you are doing tonight. Uh, okay, so are we good with the rumors?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Nice. So, the castle, the halls of the Blood King, appear in a hill nearby. As the moon starts rising in the horizon, and the night starts falling, the castle is becoming clear. You take a couple of hours reaching to the castle in this the longest night of the year, and you see these magnificent tall towers and the castle seeming to breathe in and out, with this wind sound. It exhales and it inhales, and as it inhales, you feel the cold of the wind pulling towards the castle. As you are approaching, you see the manor surrounded by a tall fence, uh, with this razor wire and different vegetation growing all around it, and two guards standing in front of the main gate. This main gate with fangs dripping in blood. Uh, but we're going to skip a bit ahead of that so that you are within the manor itself as we begin our adventure. And you find an entrance on the west side of the manor. There's a hole in the fence, and as you step into the gardens of the castle, you see there's a rose garden to the south and the manor proper in front of you. What do you want to do?
I think in this situation, Bonesmith would kinda look at both of the directions. Do we see any windows to the side where we are facing?
Yes, there are several windows, mainly over on this side and on this side. Right in front of you, there's none, but a few meters to the north and a few meters to the south, you do see some windows.
In this situation, Bonesmith would kind of look towards Lucky and basically just ask them if they wanna do their thief trickery and see if they can sneakily play open a window.
Yeah, well, we can do that. We're not expected by anybody, right? We're still kind of undetected.
Yeah, we're assuming you are still undetected. You have seen the front door. Maybe you went through the perimeter and you have seen where there's windows in the manor, but you haven't explored the inside of the garden.
Got it. Um, yeah, I mean, if there's a window that I can ascend to and open, we can try that.
Okay, give me 1 second. Sure. So you see a window here, a window here, and a window here. I'm going to put some points, some small dots in the map. There. I think you can see them. Okay. Uh, from this window, what you see within is a bath. There are several different tubs. It seems to be uh, yes, a shared bath. People will take baths. Here you see a bedroom, um, with a mirror a very elegant mirror in the south wall. And over here, in this final window, you see, give me 1 second. Oh, yes. There, it's this is a window far too small for you to go in through, but you do see an armory. You see several weapons mounted in different racks.
Yeah, Bonesmith, if it sounds good to you, we can go for the armory.
Hmm. It was mentioned that the armory window is a bit too small to go through,
Yeah.
so that's probably out of the
Oh, it's
window.
too small to go through. Okay. All right. Bedroom then sound okay?
Yeah, I think a bedroom would be the better between that and the bathroom.
Cool. Give me 1 second to drop in the bedroom then. Mm, basement, foyer, north, west. Here we go. So you go through the window. Uh, Rather, give me 1 second. Because you are looking within. Yeah, you have a 4 in 6 to open locks, but Lucky, please go ahead and give me an open locks check.
Okay. So
You
just
will
roll
roll
one
a
d6.
1d6, and if you roll equal or less than 4, you will do it.
Okay. I had a 3.
You open the window. Do you want to describe how you open the window?
Um, maybe just some kind of simple knife that you can kind of slide between the um, I imagine it's two windows that kind of open out, and so maybe there's something that you can kind of slide between to open a lever or something, and then pull it out from there, something like that.
Okay, sure. It's the it's not like vampires have the best of security. They probably feel safe with them being vampires. So you go through the window and you land in this room. It seems large. It's decorated. There's a wooden bed
Okay.
with purple linen. It seems like the bed hasn't been used in a while, but it's very well. You see a marble dresser with a silver mirror and an oak closet here in the north. What do you want to do?
Bonesmith, do you want to have the honors of doing the first investigation?
I will do just that. So that's just a d6.
Yeah. What are you looking for, or what are you trying to do rather?
In this situation, I think Bonesmith would be looking to see if there's any, how will I say, explain it, any clues, like anything that would give us any information about who the owner of this mansion is.
Okay. So there's really no role required. You are looking through stuff, and as you give me 1 second. Yes, as you are looking through stuff, uh, you are pretty sure you catch the reflection of a woman on the mirror, on the dresser mirror. What do you want to do, Bondsmith?
In this case, Woodsmith would walk up towards the mirror and see if he can recognize the woman in the reflection.
You, yeah, you approach the mirror, and you don't recognize her. She's combing her hair. She's brushing her hair in the reflection, and as you are looking straight at it, suddenly sitting in front of the dresser, you see the woman. It's an elegant, tall woman, almost as tall as Lucky, and she seems to be crying as she is trying to catch your gaze in the reflection. Lucky, you hear the noise of a wooden chair moving near the mirror, and then you suddenly the woman appears in front of you as well. What do you want
Oh,
to do?
and what does she look like? Is she like obviously dead, or is she just like a kind of apparently alive woman, or is she ghostly, or what? Can you describe her one more
She
time?
I think she's ghostly. She certainly looks pale. She's dressed in all these in jewelry and brushing her hair. But she's a bit translucent as you move as you move around the room, and she seems to be crying. There's her makeup is running through her face.
Got it. Um, I think I'm inclined to say something like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I didn't know this. There was someone in this room. Is everything all right?" And I'll kind of just try to be um, friendly to her.
I think she's looking for either of your gazes through the reflection, and she catches you, uh, Lucky. And as you look into her eyes, the woman sitting in this chair, her reflection rather, turns into this skeleton adorned with all of her jewelry, and as she's crying and combing her hair, she tells you, "Can you believe what's happened to this mansion? It's terrible, isn't it?"
Oh, well, we actually just arrived. Has something awful happened to it?
You ask, and she starts crying even more. She puts the comb in the dresser, and she says, "Do you think the loss of my family is not something terrible?" She's assuming that you know that you know what she's talking about. And she starts standing up.
In this situation, Bonesmith will kind of look between Lucky and the woman, and then just kind of go. Should I do a voice or not? Yeah, I just started doing a voice. They are just gonna go a bit. I see you're not really doing so well here.
Um, give me 1 second. Yeah, I think it's very unlikely, but why don't you give me a charisma check? Just trying to roll equal or less than your charisma, which is a 5.
So that's a D6.
That's a d20
Oh, D20.
for an ability check.
I got a 15.
Yeah. Okay. She turns to you, and as she's turning, you see this pendant, this large pendant in her chest, with the shape of a rose. Uh, it's clearly a reference to the rose garden in the outside. It's the same kind of thorny purple rose, and she looks at both of you, and as she's just as she's about to explode towards you, to yell at you, she says, who gave you any permission to come in here anyway? Leave before I call someone.
Bonesmith would just look at Lucky as their cue and also their kind of permission to go out into the hall. He'll kind of just point towards the door leading outside the room and just ask Lucky, I think that's a cue to leave.
Yes, that's apologies for bothering you. We'll be going now.
As you close the door behind you and you step into the halls, you hear the woman start throwing things into the floor and start crying, and you hear her say, "My son, where is my son? What has happened to my son?" And she starts crying just behind you in the door, behind the door. So you step into the halls, and this is what you see roughly. Well, no, not roughly. This is what you see. Uh, I think from there you will be able to look at the north. So I'm going to drop that as well. Oh, there. We uh, there it is, sort of, but there it is. Okay, so you step into the halls, and as you are standing here, mm, there's this carpeted corridor with a red carpet, and the walls, just as the walls in the outside seem to be breathing. The halls of the manor are tall, at least 10, 20 meters tall. They are gigantic. And in the distance, you hear voices seemingly coming from over here, and you hear the sound of grinding teeth. Give me 1 second. Uh-huh. Finally, decorating the halls all over the place. Really, there's different there's different statues of people seemingly crying in the halls. What do you want to do?
Let's see here. Where did you say the sound of teeth grinding was coming from?
Over here as well.
Okay. Um, let's see, Bonesmith, do you have an idea or a preference as to what we want to check out?
The grinding of the teeth is most likely to be some kind of danger. So I'm not really sure if in this situation Bonesmith and Lucky are necessarily looking for a fight, or if they're just looking for possibly some kind of opportunity to find Bonesmith's method and possibly the whoever owns the mansion. So I think maybe we should investigate the teeth grinding.
Yeah, that's fine. There's also the armory too. I'm trying to think of maybe what would be better to do first. You want to do the teeth grinding first?
Oh yeah, there is I forgot about the armory. I think
It's over here.
yeah, I think in this situation maybe yeah, it's actually better to check out the armory and see what we can find in it there before committing to any sort of possible conflict.
Okay.
Okay. Give me 1 second. So I have to roll a thing. Okay. Yes, as you are discussing whether to go north or south towards the armory or towards the sound of the teeth grinding, you hear a clicking noise coming from yes, coming from this side, and just turning around this corner, you see this long insect like leg, followed by another and another and another, and you see these gigantic spiders crawling on this side. What do you want to do?
How many spiders are there?
You notice 4 spiders. These are large spiders, at least dog-sized spiders.
I think we possibly take this fight, get rid of the spiders, get into the armory, see what we can find it there, and then proceed accordingly.
That works for me.
Okay, yeah, and the spiders. I roll for the spiders, and the spiders seem to be surprised. So we're going to drop into combat. If we need to, we can draw a more tactical map or something like that. But otherwise, I like to simply roll theater of the mind unless we strictly need it. So as you are approaching the armory, you see these blood spiders. Each one of them in their back has this red stained silk bag on their backs. And as you approach, the spiders take a jump back as they weren't expecting you. So, give me 1 second. Okay, so the way combat works in this game is a bit different. It seems complicated at first, but basically, we start with either one of you declaring if you want to use any spells or move within the area of one of the spiders. What do you? Will any of you be using a spell during this turn, during this
Ah,
round?
Bonesmith will not use a spell for the spiders.
Okay. And lucky you do not have spell. So I'm assuming you are moving to attack. So then we have movement. We have missile attacks. Will any one of you be attacking range?
Uh,
I'm definitely going to be staying out of uh, melee range with these. So I'll have my bow at the ready, I suppose, but I'm not going to be attacking with my sword.
Okay. Okay, so if you are going to be attacking with your bow, as I was telling you, the spiders are surprised, so they are unaware. Your backstab will be active here. So if you want to go ahead, Lucky, and attack one of the four spiders,
Okay, so backstab still works even with a ranged attack.
yeah, it's +4 to hit and double damage attacking an unaware foe. There's no specification about melee or anything.
Okay, so that's going to be a d20, right?
Yeah, that's a d20.
Okay, give that a roll. That is a 10 on the die. And then I don't know, looking at my modifiers here. Um, yeah, I'm
You
not
have,
seeing any modifier for missile attacks.
yeah, you
So,
have just a +0. Give me
so you
one
just so
second.
the +4 then. So that's
Okay,
a 14 total.
so with a 14, you are able to hit. You are able to hit armor class 5, and I'm going to tell you they are armor class 5 exactly. So yeah, your shot is you shoot at the spider, and roll a d6 for your damage, please.
Okay. And because this is a backstab, it's double damage. So do you interpret that to mean you roll 1d6 and multiply it by 2, or do you interpret it as rolling 2d6?
What do you prefer? I interpret it as rolling and then multiplying by 2, but there's people who prefer to roll twice the dice. What do you
Yeah,
prefer?
I've historically just rolled once and multiplied, but I just didn't know if you had a preference. But I'll
Yeah,
roll 1d6, and that's a 5, so that's 10 damage total.
13, 15, 16, 18, 18. Give me 1 second, please.
Yep.
I'm taking a note. How much did you set? Sorry?
If I rolled a 5, so I think that's 10 damage total.
10 damage total, sure. Uh, where are my notes? Give me 1 second. Float on top. Okay, yeah. This spider, as I was telling you, didn't expect this at all. The group of spiders didn't expect it at all. So I think you pull on your bow, you shoot, and I think basically you rip this bloody sack that the spider was carrying on their back, and you hear this explosive, almost a scream, coming from the spider. As you deal, honestly, a good amount of damage to it. So I'm going to say it's covered in blood. Yeah, Bonesmith, what do you want to do?
as Bonesmith is not going to use any spells, they are going to move into the melee range of the nearest spider and just try to whack them with the mace.
Okay, they are in a group, so you can attack either the same spider that Lucky just attacked, or a different one, or a different one.
I think Bonesmith would take advantage of the opportunity that Lucky has provided and attack the same spider that Lucky did.
Sure. So roll a d20, please.
D20.
And they are armor class 5, so you are looking to roll 14 or more.
I got a 20.
Okay, yeah. So roll me your damage, please.
That's a D6. I rolled a 6.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Okay, you basically crush the spider. Do you want to describe me how that looks like?
So imagine Bonesmith would uh, walk up to the spider, bring up his mace well above his head, and just kind of bring it down with all of his might, like dead center, uh, into the spider, like just kind of crashing it into the ground.
Okay, okay, for sure. So now it's the turn of the spiders, uh, who just in a fraction of a second you have crushed one of them. So spider number two, give me 1 second to 5, 7, 5, 11 y tenemos 11. Okay, sure. So now that you are looking closer at the spiders, the fourth spider, the one that's on the back, and I'm going to put it sort of this way. The one that's on the back seems to be the largest one of the spiders. It seems a bit stronger than the other two. The other two seem even smaller than the one you just crushed. And so the two front ones, I think each one is going after the one that's closest is the bonesmith, so they are both going after the bonesmith. I rolled a one for the first one, so it's not going to do much. And the second one rolls a 20. Okay, so give me 1 second. Attacks, one bite. I'm just going to tell you that this is going to hurt.
I keep
Oh god.
thinking in OSE, critical hits are not a thing. Did that come later in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons? I'm trying to remember.
I think that's from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I started playing D&D with 3.5, which I really didn't like, but I'm pretty sure that criticals are from AD&D. Yes.
Yeah, I keep thinking they're not a thing in BX, but I don't remember.
Uh, a lot of enemies, many enemies have certain special attacks that they do on when you roll a 20, which is sort of a critical, but it's usually an additional effect, which is exactly what's going to happen to the bonesmith right now. So, okay, so for starters, you take. It rolled a 20. You have armor class 1, so it with 20 it with 20 it would still, yeah, with 20 it will still hit. So you take 7 points of damage for starters. Bloodsmith, please.
I should update that in the character keeper.
Okay,
Okay,
and please roll for me a poison saving throw, which is a death or poison. You're trying to roll equal or over a 9 for your saving throw.
yeah, okay. So that's yeah, okay. So do a D20. I got a 17.
Okay, you roll a 17. Basically, the spider, this second spider jumps up to you and attaches to you. And attaches to you. It brings its fangs to your neck like a vampire. It's a blood spider. It's a vampiric spider, and you feel it draining your blood at the same time that you feel this you feel its poison start moving through your veins. And yeah, basically you save for it, but there's some kind of poison that the spider is trying to inject onto you. And since it rolled a 20, The spider is basically attached to you. The largest spider, Lucky, seeing you hang in the back, it rolls an 18. So that will hit armor class -2. So I'm pretty sure that hits you.
Yeah.
And it's going to deal to you. Okay, this is this is a really big hit, which is the kind of stuff that I both like and love to hate about this game. So it runs towards you, it jumps, and it deals to you 10 damage,
Oh,
Okay.
which I think it's
That puts
it's
me
a
down to
bit over
6.
your half your HP. So it's your turn. What do you want to do? It does not attach to you. It basically jumps to you, cuts you, and it's just in front of you, Lucky. So will any one of you be using spells or be using missile attacks?
Probably running away is my thinking right now.
Okay, just letting you know, you can run away. You can try to escape from combats. Just in the moment that you escape from combat, you give your enemies, I think, a +2 to attack you as you run. You can also step back and try to attack from a more favorable position. But in case you are running away, I'm just letting you know you are granting a bonus. There's no such thing as an opportunity attack. You just make it a bit easier for your enemies.
Hmm. Well, it occurs to me this is a fight that probably we can't win. So cutting losses and leaving now is probably a good idea. If they are in fact vampiric spiders, I wonder if turn undead might be something that can get them off of us for a little while, at least long enough for us to escape. Um, but as for me, I can probably, if I'm lucky, I might be able to soak up one more hit before I'm dead. So the odds of survival if we stick around are bad.
Sure. Do you want to run towards where you came from? Do you want to try to go into the armory as you had planned?
I'll run for the armory myself.
Okay. So uh, for their turn, okay, you are running into the armory. I'm going to describe to you in a second what you see inside. But are you locking the door behind you, or are you leaving it open for the bonesmith?
I'll leave it open for Bonesmith. I don't think the spiders will hopefully. Well, I mean, I suppose
Okay,
they could give chase, but anyway, I'll leave it open for Bonesmith.
sure. Within the armory, you go into the armory. You are calling up to the bonesmith. You see the spiders looking at you, and basically you go in and you see the cabinets with different weapons. You don't have much time to look around and explore, but I'm going to drop in the armory in just a second. Bonesmith, what do you want to do? Remember that you have one of the spiders attached to your body right now.
mm, yes, so David brought up a good point. Since these are vampiric spiders, would turn undead work on them?
You can certainly try.
It's reassuring. Good.
Oh,
You can always try. Yes.
this is a conundrum. I think Bonesmith would try to follow Luck into the armory,
Okay,
and I'm thinking, would Bonesmith try to throw the spiders currently attached to them after them, or would they first? Actually, no. I think Bonesmith would run into the armory with the spiders still attached to them and them, and perhaps then was in a room which they can lock behind them. Lucky and Bonesmith could take on the spider that's currently attached. So Bonesmith would also run into the room after Lucky.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, I'm just letting you know that you 100% can run into the armory. Lucky is holding the door open for you, but since you have it attached, you are going to receive automatic damage. Since you are not attempting to remove it, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, then you both go into the armory. I'm assuming Lucky you push the door in order to block out the spiders.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
But yeah, you see the bonesmith going with this maybe cat-sized spider attached to his neck, and you are going to take immediately just 2 points of damage, surprisingly.
Oh, okay. Okay, just 2 points. That's good. I was worried I was gonna take more than that. So
But
that's
it's technically the spider's turn. You hear the spiders start pushing into the door, but the spider that you have attached into to your body surprisingly just deals 2 more points of damage to you, Bonesmith.
okay.
And
That's
right
that's
now it's your turn. Lucky Bonesmith, what do you want to do?
Oh dear. Let's
I
see here. So just to confirm, Bonesmith, you're are you with me yet? Exactly.
I
Yes,
am with you
yes,
in the room.
Okay. So can we get a door shut between us and the spiders?
yes.
That we're all good there. Okay, sweet. So that means that we're basically in this. Let me see here. Is this the armory? I'm looking at where it is relative to the dot up top.
uh
Okay, it is.
yeah,
Or
that's the armory. That window should be a bit below, but yeah, that's the armory.
okay, no problem. Good deal. So we're for the time being seemingly safe from the spiders at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Okay.
spiders are too big to go beneath the door. You close the door, and these are cat-sized, dog-sized animals. You are pretty sure that they won't be able to bring down the door for themselves.
Okay.
But you need to
Um.
remember that there is one cat-sized spider currently attached to Bonesmith.
Yeah.
Oh, you brought it with you.
Yeah, that's with me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, in that case, let's see here. Would I be penalized for trying to shoot it with my bow, or can I do that? If I am gonna get penalized for doing that while it's attached to you, then I won't do it. I'll have to go with my sword. But if I can shoot it, then that's what I'll try to do.
Yeah, I think there's enough space for you to step back and try to hit the spider if you want to do that. But if you are just standing in front of the bonesmith, yeah, you will take -1.
Yeah, I'll definitely step back. I don't want to be near it, so I will go far back against the corner of one of the walls and fire from there if I can do that in one round.
Yeah. You step back and please roll your attack.
Okay. There's the tab. Okay. D20. I think that's it. Yeah, that is a 6, which is not good. But a +2 makes 8. I don't think that's enough to hit.
With an 8, no, it's not. It's not enough to hit. Bonesmith, what do you do?
Now I'm assuming that if I don't uh, get it off me, I'm gonna take another automatic point of damage. So in
Yes.
this case, Bonesmith would just kind of grab at a spider and try to uh, wrestle it off of them and maybe onto the floor, or at least in their hands.
Okay. For sure, you can try to. I don't know. Maybe try to whack it, stab it, or something, or you can try to use your hands and just push onto it. Just pushing onto it will be a strength check, which doesn't give you the best odds in the world, to be honest. So, what do you want to do?
In that case, I'm gonna just I'm actually gonna test turn on the dead on it and see if we can actually if turn on dead works on these spiders.
Sure, yeah. You will be rolling 2d6, please.
Yeah, okay, so it's gonna be 2d6. I got a 4 and a 6.
You get a 4 and a 6, so you get an 8 total. Give me 1 second. This creature has. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay, I think as you use your turn on death, the spider certainly detaches from you, and it crawls beneath one of the cabinets, running away from you. And I'm going to assume at that point you just got to it with your swords, with your maces, and since it's not trying to go near you, I'm going to say you eventually kill the spider. The two other ones hearing the noise just seem to move away, and I'm going to mark that as the end of the combat. Hello.
Welcome back.
Hey there.
Uh, yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but back. Okay, so as I was telling you, I'm going to mark that as the end of the combat, since I think you will be able to gang up on the spider, and now that it's trying to run away from you. So I'm going to mark round, uh, and okay, and here within the armory, you taking a second to recover. You basically see all of these weapons and different kinds of armor. You see some swords, crossbows, uh, and you see some statues where the armor is hanging from. Uh, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Give me 1 second. Yes.
Okay.
I just read something about this room, so give me 1 second because I'm going to retcon a thing. Okay, you close the door behind. Lucky, you run into the armory. Bonesmith, you run behind. Lucky, you push the door. You cast turn on death. The spider detaches from you, runs towards the corner, and then finally you get a second to take a breather. And as you are about to go after the spider, you you see a woman uh, pierce with her sword through the spider. pick it up, sort of presenting it to you, and you see her take this enormous bite out of the spider, and she tells you, uh, and she tells you as she is pointing towards you with her sword, with the spider still dripping blood from it. She tells you, "And just who might you be?"
The bonesmith would observe the woman. Uh, how does she look like? Like, do we see any notable features on her?
She seems a bit malnourished. She seems somewhat dirty, but then, Bonesmith, you tell me, what about her armor is just like you? Because as you are looking into her eyes, you recognize the face of your mother, 15 years older. But there she is, standing in front of you, Selena Swantis, one of the greatest vampire hunters that has ever lived.
I'll be surprised. This we actually found her much quicker than I thought this would take. Okay, so Bonesmith would kind of uh go wide-eyed, just kind of like stare at her in disbelief, and just kind of like mumble, uh, is that you, mom?
I don't think she pays much attention to that, or rather, she says, what sort of trick is that? Who who sent you? She asks.
Bonesmith would try to slowly approach, and as they do, they are talking to us. Uh, we've come here to find you. It's been 15 years since you were last seen in this uh, down mansion. Uh, don't you remember me? And Bonesmith would kind of maybe take off their bone mask to see if she'll recognize them.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Let me mark time. Yeah, you take off the mask, and I think she steps forward, to attack. She's defensive, and then she stops just a few centimeters away from you, and she calls you by your real name. Do you have any idea what your character's real name would be?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's okay. We can, if you think of it, later. That's cool. But the point is, she calls you by your real name, and she grabs your face, and you feel her hand is, it's thin, it's sort of bony as she approaches you, and she tells you, has it really been that long? And she turns towards Lucky, and back towards you, and then she just sort of hits you, not hard enough to hurt you, but she tells you, "Stupid child, I told you never to come look for me if something went wrong." She cries a bit, and she hugs you.
Bonesmith would hack her back and not really just say anything, like just kind of take in this moment in silence.
Lucky, what do you want to do?
Um, well, it occurs to me I don't know my character's real name either. But I'm going to. I mean, I'm paying attention to them just in case any funny business happens and someone gets ambushed. But otherwise, I suppose I might just inspect the um, armory just kind of visually and see if there's anything that stands out as being especially useful or valuable. I mean, just anything better than the gear that I've currently got, anything that could be worth something, that sort of thing.
Give me 1 second because yes, you would find something. Yeah, basically you find a crossbow. As I told you at the beginning, all the weapons will roll a d6, but a
Hmm.
crossbow will have a much better range than your current bow. And there's chainmail, which I'm not sure if you can use,
I
but
was
give
going to
me
say
a
a
moment.
thief. I'm pretty sure I can only use leather at best. Um, but crossbow could be maybe useful unless there's some kind of rule about like loading it each in
No,
between each shot or something like that.
yeah, now you will be able to shut it every round. I really don't like the optional rule about you only being able to shoot it every other round, especially since all of the weapons deal the same damage.
Yeah, well, if it's all the same, I might as well grab the
Yep.
crossbow. But other than that, no, that all sounds good to me. But otherwise,
Okay.
I'm just kind of giving Bonesmith a moment to discuss. At some point, I'm going to want to ask what the heck is going on here, and like who's in charge here, and kind of figure out what the best next step might be. But I'll give Bonesmith a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Bonesmith would after like a moment would like to just ask the matter what just is going on here. How is she still alive after 15 years? What happened? And also, maybe during this time, he would give out the rations because I see that the Bonesmith has something called iron rations in their packed items, and I'm not sure if that like heals us or not. So if he does heal us, then he would probably uh, take some for himself, give some to Lucky, and also probably give some to the matter because she's obviously malnourished.
Okay. Okay. Give me just 1 second, please. We're going to establish a few stuff because yes, uh you found her way faster than I was expecting. So give me 1 second. Hmm. Okay, that's that. And you have. Okay, and on area 22. Okay, so Lucky. As Bonesmith is having this moment, this reunion with Selena, you notice that she has a sack on the corner she was standing. She was looting the room basically. Uh, you see she has some weapons, and she has all of these different insect basically insect parts, mostly from the spiders. And you see she has at least one or two vials of what you are pretty sure is blood in the in her sack.
Do you say
uh
like vials of blood?
Vials of blood, yes.
Huh.
Bonesmith, she takes you by your hands, She is basically checking on you, seeing that you are if you are doing okay, and she tells the both of you, let's go to a safe place. She hears at the door to see if the spiders are gone, and she takes you to basically the room next door. As you open the room, she starts pulling on strings and moving levers and stuff, and it's good that you didn't go into this room before, because this room is basically filled with traps.
Hmm.
And she it's dirty. There's some there's some stuff lying around, some of her stuff, different weapons. And in the corner, just over here, you see a vampire uh, uh, tied up from the wrist and from their ankles, with basically a dagger into their neck, dripping blood into this small pot. And she just tells you, "Don't mind him." But as she takes a seat, she tells the both of you, "So, I'm sorry to ask, but would you happen to have anything to eat?"
Uh, Bonesmith will take out the iron rations. I presume that they are food.
Yeah. They are food, and no, you wouldn't be able to immediately heal from the iron rations, as you were asking, Bonesmith. She takes it, and after a bite, you see her eyes basically grow twice larger and just start consuming them as fast as she's able. And she tells you, uh, "Let me tell you, vampire blood is not really a good meal." And after a couple minutes, as she's sitting, she starts explaining to you basically what's going on. She tells you about the castle. As you know, it appears and disappears for just one night. She tells you that she was unable to find the Blood King when she went into here 15 years ago. She tells you that she's found him several times, but the Blood King simply seems uninterested in attacking her. He seems to see her just as an stray cat that lives within the walls of his manor. And she tells to you that this night in particular, something weird seems to be going on. That earlier today, she saw a group of vampires coming to the manor, and this is weird because the Blood King doesn't seem to take many guests, and she's counted at least 5 vampires who she tells you are dining in the center of the manor. She describes the manor to you. There's the kitchen and the dining room in the center of the castle, and on the top floor there's the Blood King's room and his daughter, the Blood Princess. And she's pretty sure that from the basement, there is where the spiders are coming. She explains to you that she has survived drinking vampire blood, which is a terrible meal, but it's giving her these sort of regenerating powers. But she's afraid it's costing it her own soul. And she ends with, "But with both of you there, we might just be able to take on the Blood King. What do you want to do?"
Seeing as both Bonesmith and Lucky took a pretty heavy hit in the fight with the spiders, I am wondering, is there any way that we could possibly heal up a bit? Seeing as we are in a
That's a good
safe
question.
room.
She tells you, give me 1 second. She tells you, you tell her this, and she starts checking on you. She looks at your neck, and she says, you should be fine.
That's
And
reassuring.
goes for a cup, puts it through in the pot, and offers both of you uh, a cup of blood, of vampire blood. What do you want to do?
Where for Bonesmith, they see how the matter was able to survive after this, so Bonesmith just kind of shrugs his shoulders and takes a swing of it.
Okay. Uh, as you drink it, as you drink it, you feel for sure reinvigorated immediately. You heal 6 HP, and you feel strong. You feel actually strong, and you are pretty sure. I'm going to tell you exactly when next time you are in combat. But I'm telling you, this will give you a bonus to your attacks for the next few minutes. And Lucky, do you accept the vampire blood that she's offering you?
I mean, if it's gonna heal me, then sure. Uh, I don't like the idea, but I'll go for it because I am very wounded and will not get out of here alive otherwise.
You heal for you heal for 6 points of HP as well,
Oh, okay, that's good.
and you as well feel stronger. But it's a bit heavy on your stomach, and I'm telling you, it's going to last a bit less than it will for the bonesmith.
Okay.
Turn. And basically, after you drink it, she tells the both of you, just take it easy. Would any one of you like to drink again?
Hmm.
I'm afraid that if we take another drink of it, it's going to maybe stack up like some kind of debuff, or perhaps even try to maybe be, because it's obviously done a number on Selena, so, and I'm kind of just wary of what's gonna happen with my turn undead. Like if I use it after drinking enough of it, will it also affect me?
Right.
So Bonesmith will probably just refuse a second uh, a cup. The one that they got was enough for them.
Okay. Lucky, do you want a second cup?
I'm good. I think one draught of vampire blood is sufficient for my purposes. Oh god, this is awful. This is really genuinely really creepy. I'm not saying much about it, but oh god, I don't like it. Okay. No, I think I'm okay. Can I ask what the heck is wrong with the Blood King one more time? It sounds like the Blood King is acting really weird and some bad things are going on. Can they give me any more information about what their deal is and whether or not the rumor about cats is true?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Yes, she basically explains to you that 15 years ago, when she came into the castle, she was surprised to find the Blood King basically uninterested in attacking her, in taking combat with her. She tells you that as far as she can see, time flows differently for vampires. What are decades for you are merely months for them. And she tells you, honestly, I think the damn vampire is depressed. He's longing for a greater time, and maybe that has to do something with whatever it is that his guests are doing or are discussing rather in the dining room. She also tells you that she has seen the Blood King spend time. Give me 1 second. In a particular room. I lost the room. Uh, Over here. That he seems to be spending time in a room over here, but she's not really sure why. There's not anything that she has been able to find in this area. But yeah, basically, she says that the Blood King seems depressed. He spends most of his time in his personal observatory in the top floor, just just basically moaning.
I'm not sure if I just missed it. So in the dining room, there's only the vampire guests. The Blood King isn't actually in the dining room.
He isn't in the dining room, but she's certain that the Blood King will come down at some point.
The way I see it, David, is we could possibly go uh, upstairs and see if we can find the Blood King's daughter, or we can maybe go into the room where the Blood King usually goes to when he's depressed and see if maybe we can find something there. At the moment, I think we should avoid the observatory and avoid the dining room
Yeah,
if
that
we
all
can.
sounds smart. I think it would be a bad idea to go through this entire module and not talk to someone with the name Blood Princess. That sounds cool. So I want to get there eventually. It might go over better if we can go to the depression room and and maybe see if there's something there that we can present as a token of like good faith. Like, hey, we're on your side. We're not here to just plunder your coffers and make off with your treasure. We want to help. That might be easier to um, convey. So I think either one is good. What do you think between the two? Which one would you rather do first, Bonesmith?
I think Bonesmith would first go into the depression room and see if we can find anything, because if the Blood King is depressed, then there is a reason for it, and it might be better if we can deduce what that is by searching that room and then possibly going to the Blood Princess and see if we can maybe get her on our side with possible evidence before we just waltz right into hold the room and be seen as a intruder, as a threat.
Okay, okay. So before you leave, Selena, seemingly proud of you, Bonesmith, she tells you mother and son, this will be interesting. And she takes just as she's speaking with you. I just dropped the Selena's stat block because she will be accompanying you. She asks for your weapons, for your arrows, for your and she's spending time as she's talking with you, putting a paste over your blades that basically is a holy water paste that will make your weapons effective against vampires, because otherwise you will be at a disadvantage against them. So give me 1 second as you are going towards the depression room.
I don't know what else to call it. I'm just. We're gonna go with
I,
depression room.
I like that. I like the depression
I'm
room.
sure it has a name in the module, but depression room is what I'm calling it.
Depression room. I think depression room is a great name for it. So give me 1 second. Okay. So uh Selena listens into her door and opens it and tells you after you, and she lets you out. She preps her traps, locks her door, and basically leads you into the stairs over here. And let me just drop in the second floor. Second floor. Mm. Oh my god, I don't think I mean, I do have it, but I don't have the structure of the second floor as I do for the bottom one.
That's cool. I can
It's
try
no
to
big deal,
remind.
but
Yeah.
okay. So at the you're at the top of the stairs as Selena leads you, and this is area. Sure. The noise from the bottom floor where the vampires, or who you are now sure vampires were discussing, start sounding further away. And as you step on the top of the stairs, these ethereal lights that were illuminating the bottom floor basically dissipate completely. This top floor is in darkness, so if you want to go ahead and use one of your torches, it will be basically the only way that you will be able to look here.
Sure.
I think you have lanterns rather than one of you have lanterns and one of you has torches.
Um, yes, it looks like I have a blackout lantern. Um, so I don't know which one of us wants to carry the lantern. I, I'm inclined to ask Bonesmith if you want to, because I tend to need two hands for my bow. But I can carry it in one hand and have my sword out in the other if I need to.
Seeing as Goldsmith uses a mace and is kind of the tank of the party at the moment, Bonesmith would take the lantern from you and just walk forward. illuminating the way.
Okay.
Okay, works.
It's yeah, it's probably better than using a torch.
Just letting you know that at this point you have been within the walls of the castle for a little over an hour. You, Dominic, since you haven't played these kind of games, basically, and I'm dropping you a screenshot to quickly explain this to you. Basically, there we go. Basically, every time you explore a room or you move through a dungeon, or in this case through the castle, we mark we put in one of these check marks, which is a turn, which weirdly is not a turn, but it's rather 10 minutes. And we assume it's 10 minutes because the characters are drawing maps in order not to get lost. They are passively looking for some obvious traps, hearing for enemies, that kind of stuff. So you are moving slowly. At this point, basically, you went through the garden. You look at the armory, at the bedroom that you went in through. Ah, the bedroom, the ghost in the bedroom. She tells Selena, when you are talking, she tells you that she's pretty sure that this ghost is the mother of the vampire king, of the blood king.
Oh,
She hasn't been able to confirm it, but she will tell you that. And so we are marking this time, and once every hour you have to take a rest, uh, which doesn't actually recover any of your HP. But if you don't take a rest, basically you start taking penalties to all of your rolls. So at the end of the last hour, you took a rest, a purposeful rest, and we are at the beginning of the second hour. Uh, and that's the way we start tracking certain resources. In this case, the duration of the lantern. So I'm just going to uh, remove these. Okay, so you light up the lantern. You have it in one hand. You have your mace on the other. And over here, as you illuminate, you see the winding corridor, and you see what you are pretty sure is a balcony over here. What do you want to do?
I think we would avoid the balcony because we're not sure if there's any vampires or any other creatures in the garden outside, like keeping lookout, and it wouldn't like give us any information. So I think we would just go straight on ahead to the depression room.
Okay, yeah, basically I don't know what I did there. Basically, you see it's the only path that you are able to find ahead. You can always look for secret doors if you want to, but it's the only path that you see forward, and it's the path that Selena is telling you. Do you want to look for a secret door?
I think
yeah.
Bonesmith wouldn't look for a secret door. I think Bonesmith would perhaps look for maybe a secret door once we get into the depression room, but
Okay.
I'm not sure what Lucky would do instead.
Lucky, what do you want to do?
I feel like I would look for secret doors. I mean, it's a vampire castle, for heaven's sake. I mean, yeah, there's got to be something.
It's a vampire
Um,
castle.
yeah, yeah. So I'll examine the walls and flagstones on the floor and check under rugs, search behind portraits, look for um, hidden levers and mechanisms on bookcases. Just kind of, I mean, I'm a sixth level thief, the usual.
Okay, okay, okay. Uh, Give me 1 second. Yeah, you have a 1 in 6 chance of finding a secret door if there is a secret door, but usually I am the one who rolls for that. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. You start. You explore the hallway without coming too close to the balcony, and you do not find a secret door, but you are pretty sure you hear faint voices coming from over here, and more than voices, you hear moans coming from behind this wall. And I'm going to mark it with a triangle,
That's
but
interesting. So you're saying moans coming from behind that wall?
moans coming from behind that wall
Moans of despair, of pain, of
of
what's the
sadness. I will say
okay.
of sadness.
Okay. It's a gloomy castle.
It's a gloomy
Um,
castle.
okay.
And from the balcony, yes, the balcony looks into the front garden. The front garden, as you were checking it from the outside, is not heavily guarded except for a few dogs, a few vampiric dogs, and but you do see this gigantic telescope hanging from the balcony, and you see several uh, flowers and flower pots in the balcony. What do you want to do?
I mean, for my part, I'll check out the wall that the moans are emerging from and see if there's anything there that I can push on to access maybe a secret door. But otherwise, I'm inclined to just kind of go to where that kind of dotted line is on the far right hand side and see what lies north.
Yeah, it's basically a screen door, but yes, you can go there.
Yeah.
And as you look at this wall, uh, you cannot find, if there is a secret door, you cannot find a way to open it. But you do hear the moans coming from that direction. So
Okay.
as you look into the screen door, give me 1 second. Second floor, here it is. As you look into the balcony, basically you see it opens towards a bigger hallway. I think from the balcony you will be able to see those four doors, but as you stand in the balcony, you see these different plants, most of them dripping with blood. You see, what's the name of it's no, a pot is where you plant a flower. The shower, a shower for the plants. Bloody as well. They seem to be.
Oh. So it's like a sprinkler hose thing that they
Yeah,
and they feed the plants blood with it instead of water.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Because
that's hilarious. Okay.
one of these plants in particular, as you are examining it, you see you see it snoring away in the corner. You hear, and it's dripping blood from its fangs, basically. And you see this gigantic, beautiful purple carnivorous flower sleeping in the far corner of
Oh,
the
I love
balcony.
that. Is Bonesmith is Bonesmith's mother still around to
Yeah, yeah, she
explain
is.
whether or not is that thing gonna bite me if I wake it up? I ask.
She approaches it, and she as you ask, she just goes shh, and and um, and she nods with her head. Yes.
Got it. Okay. That is charming. Bonesmith, is there anything you want to do here?
I was thinking that the bonesmith would maybe take a look at the telescope and maybe try and see if the telescope is pointed at something of interest in the sky.
Sure. Give me 1 second. Mm, okay. Yeah. You look into the telescope, and and okay. For starters, as I was telling you, this is a really large telescope. It will require two people to move around probably, and it's beautiful. It's golden. It's encrusted in silver and gold, and the different handles have several jewels into it. And as you look into the telescope and into the night sky, into this dark night sky, with just the blood moon for light in the balcony, instead of looking at a star or a planet, you seem to look into a very similar balcony as this one, as the one that you are standing in. And you see, let me just quickly check our lines and veils. Here, okay. You see a man, a tall man with a long mustache. Uh, Basically hit on a child. This child dressed elegantly, but basically crying, and um, you hear him calling for his mother. You see his mother in the corner. You're pretty sure she's dead, and she's carrying in her chest uh, an, a pendant, a rose pendant. And as the vampire picks up the child from the floor, he goes to bite him, and you see him basically clean up the blood from his face and walk into. Give me 1 second. Walk over here. Walk into what will be this door in the telescope that you are seeing, and the child just lies there, crawls towards his mother, and then what you're seeing, the thing that you are seeing becomes blurry. What do you want to do?
Bonesmith would convey what he just saw to Lucky and Selena, and then would kind of turn to Selena and kind of ask if she knows anything about what they just saw.
You can certainly convey it, but if you talk here, Selena will shush you once again because you are
Yeah,
at risk of waking up the plant. Do you want to move elsewhere?
yeah. We would Bonesmith would then, in that case, would kind of motion to move off the balcony and into the hallway.
Okay. So you move into the hallway, and Selena basically asks for your description of either the child or the woman.
The child didn't have a description, but Bonesmith will tell Selena about the tall man with the long mustache would also mention dead woman that had the those pendant was sitting in the corner doing all of this.
Your description of the man does not sound familiar to her. However, your description of the woman and particularly the pendant, she asks you, "You've been to the guest room, haven't you? Was it the same pendant? The same pendant from the ghost that you saw before?"
I would assume it was.
And she says she says maybe it was a memory. Maybe it was one of the Blood King's memories. And we are going to there, I think, take a 10-minute break because David is about to take his call, I think. Is that right, David? You
You're
are
muted,
you're
yes.
muted.
Sorry, yeah, it starts at 10:30. It might run until about 10:40, so I might be back a little bit late, but
Okay.
that's okay if with me if it's okay with you.
Well, why don't we take then 15 minutes? If you are late, there's no problem, but let's give you a bit of space. Is that all right?
That's fine with me.
Okay, then we will take 15 minutes and come back here then.
Okay,
Talk to you in a bit.
sounds good. Thanks.
Yep.
No problem.
Okay. So as you are talking with Selena, and you describe this scene, she asks you about the pendant, and then she tells you that this was probably a memory. She asks you to describe the child, and she tells you that what you have seen is probably the Blood King, the moment that the Blood King was turned into a vampire. And then what she says to you, she's basically thinking out loud, and she starts recounting you several times that she has tried to go after the Blood King, and how she's never been able to basically defeat him, no matter how hard she attacks. And she's always wondered if it has to do with maybe some kind of uh, magic or ritual that the Blood King has done before. And as she's telling you this, she says, "I wonder if there will be any more memories that you are able to see through the telescope that that will clue us into how to defeat the Blood King."
In response to this, the bonesmith can just nod their head and say, Yes, I hope so as well. So, let's see. So, in the memory, the tall figure went to the room on the left. So, in this instance, Bonesmith would ask Selena if she knew where that room leads to.
She tells you that she's pretty sure that it leads directly into the Blood King's chambers, but she also tells you that she tries not to come up here at all because the chances of running into the Blood King are greater up here. So she hasn't explored much of the upper floor. She does tell you that over here to the right, there's um, the Blood King's planetarium. That's what she's sure about. She
See,
tells you he has an elaborate model of the cosmos.
in let's see, Lucky and Bonesmith came up here to find the depression room, so we would avoid the Blood King's chamber and we would probably avoid the planetarium, if nothing else, because we know that that's where the Blood King likes to spend a lot of his time. So Bonesmith would ask then which of the remaining two rooms are, are the depression room.
Yeah, she tells you that the depression room will be the precisely the Blood King's chambers.
Oh, that is a Blood King's chambers. Mm, in that case, we would Bonesmith would urge the party to move towards the door, and would probably see if the door has like a keyhole in which they can look through to see into the room.
Okay, give me 1 second, please. Because that is a good idea. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for 31 and looking for 30. Okay. Yeah. As you are discussing all of this, Selena turns around and you see a villager. A villager basically pounding into this door over here. You're discussing the plan with Selena, and as she hears the villager, she says, "Brandon, but Brandon, wait!" And she runs towards the door, just as you are about to look into this one. So basically, the situation is Selena is chasing after this villager that you are 100% sure is a ghost, but she's spent a lot of time alone in this castle, and and you are about to look into the left door. What do you want to do?
So just to clarify, Selena and the ghost
To the
are
right.
the are they in that room or are they just at the door?
Yeah, she went through the door and the door closed behind her.
Uh, it's in this situation, Bonesmith, uh, upon finally uniting with the Mator and seeing how she just ran into the room in a door shut, the Bonesmith would a bit frantically try and open the door that the Mator just went through while calling after her.
Okay. Give me 1 second, please. We have over here the second floor. It's not this one. It's not this one. It's this one. Okay, sure. So you run after her to the room on the right, and you find uh, you find Selena basically looking for this villager. Uh, she's calling Brandon. Brandon, where are you? And you, yeah. She basically is frantically looking for this person, and this is a painting studio. A painting studio. You see canvases everywhere hanging from the walls. You see a picture made the picture of a landscape just midway finished in the middle, and Give me 1 second. Ah, yeah. And you see several vials of different pigments in the far wall. What do you want to do?
So I'm assuming that Brandon is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, Brandon is nowhere to be seen.
Okay, in that situation, Bonesmith would kind of go over to Selena, kind of just try and calm her down, try and like steady her as they try to not as they try to, as they yeah they try to reassure her that there's no one here and kind of just asking like what exactly happened to the villagers.
She just she tells you no, that's why I came here. Remember, that's why I came here. I came after I came after them. And she's basically recalling the villagers that she originally try to try to come and find. And then behind you, you hear the door handle start turning. What do you want to do?
Oh, mm, we don't know who that is. It could be the Blood King. It could be someone else. So the Bonesmith would kind of maybe like grab a hold of their matter and like just try and find some cover, somewhere they can conceal themselves.
Yeah, give me 1 second, please. Uh, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm trying to think what you will find here. There will certainly be a cabinet. There's paintings. I'm looking for the word in English for.
Oh yeah, they.
I'm not familiar with any of those
Oh
words.
yeah, yeah. Easily the basically the stand that
Yeah,
you would
the
stand
stand
at.
for the yeah, precisely. Okay, so I think it wouldn't be the best of hiding spots, but yeah, you are able to get behind some of these things. And give me 1 second. Area 12. There it is. Okay, so you go into a corner and you see uh you see three people come through the door, and they say, my lord, my lord, 649. Maltasar, Guitar, Siranda. Okay, you see a woman walking. She's thin, she's tall, she has green skin and several eyes. Hello, David. Give me a second, and I will catch you up. She has several eyes on her face, and as she's asking for probably the Blood King. You see, she's talking out of a mouth on her neck, and she says, "My lord, is this the?" And she turns around to look at her companions, and she says, "I told you it wasn't here." David, let me catch you up. Uh, as you were explaining to Selena what the bonesmith looked through a telescope. She catch a glimpse of the ghost of one of the villagers that she originally came in to try to rescue. and the ghost went into this room to the east, and so Selena ran after the villager. The bonesmith and I'm assuming you ran after her, and basically as you went into the room, the ghost was obviously nowhere to be found, and you basically try to stay hidden because behind you the door uh, start to open, and you see three vampires come through the door, and they are discussing because you catch that they are looking for the dining room. And this one, a woman leading the group, she tells you, yeah, I told you, guitar, it wasn't over here. uh she says, you can be so stupid at times. And she clearly is trying to put the other, to make the other two vampires discuss with each other. What do you want to do? You are hidden, but they are standing in the only exit of the room.
Mm,
Got it.
let's see. Going after the spiders didn't end well for us, but do you think maybe we could win a fight against the vampires? Against the vampires, especially now that we have got Selena as well on our side? Or do you think it's maybe a bit too risky?
Hmm. I'm willing to go for it.
Yeah, I think that's the course we need to kind of take. There's no exit out of this. So I guess we would attack.
Okay, yeah. They are basically not paying attention to you. They were clearly looking for something else. So if you attack, you have it's a surprise. It's your it they are surprised rather. So assuming you are hitting with your new crossbow, Lucky,
Yeah, I can give it a shot. Shall I roll?
give me just 1 second to
Okay.
pick the three vampires, and I'm going to give you brief descriptions of what you see. Area 12. So for starters, you see a thin, tall woman with several eyes in her head and a mouth in her neck. She's followed by a two-headed bald man with purple skin and a red suit. And you also see a hairy, tall, and very, very muscular but short man. All of them vampiric clearly vampiric. You see their fangs as they are speaking. So, Lucky, who do you want to go first? Who do you want to attack first?
Let's see here. I suppose I'm just gonna go for. If they're all more or less the same, let me see here. Uh-huh. I will target the third one, the hairy, tall, very muscular but short man. This might be also a good turn undead moment if it comes down to it.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, sure. Roll a d20 for me, please.
Okay. That is a 6 on the die, which I think comes out to a 10 even if backstab is in play, so that's probably not going to work.
Yeah, with a 10, I'm pretty sure you are. Yeah, you will be hitting armor class 9, and no, that's not effective. Give me 1 second. Okay, you pull on your crossbow. You shoot. The arrow probably goes between them, and it. I'm certain it lands on the back door over here. Uh, Bonesmith, what do you want to do?
The Bonesmith would cast Turn Undead on the three vampires to try and get them.
Okay,
Yeah, to
okay,
try and
okay.
get them a bit. I feel this is easier to move in and attack.
Give me 1 second. Okay, you will be rolling. You will be rolling. Let me verify how many hit die they have. Yeah, roll 2d6 for me, please.
Okay, 2d6. I got 2 5s.
You got a 10. So, okay. As you are making your ritual for turn the undead, and you hold your holy symbol, the three vampires lock eyes on you, and it doesn't seem to be effective. Would attend you don't manage to scare them. And so we come to Selina's turn, who I think uh, okay, that's let me check for her taco. Mm, 15. Okay. Which with Aratol, Aratol, Aratol. Sorry. Okay, barely, but she comes running from behind you and takes out two swords from her waist and after goes after the same vampire that Loki tried to attack, and she hits him for uh no, sorry, it's not this one, it's this one. She hits him for 7 points of damage, and basically she's looking with she's trying to stab him. Just one of her attacks deals damage to this vampire, and she tells you, come on, child, help your mother. And the three vampires, obviously one of them will attack Selena, and I'm pretty sure it will attack, then 17 and then 5. Okay, so for the first one with taco of 13 and 5. Okay, I'm pretty sure the first one attacks 13 plus 3, 13. What's your armor class, Bonesmith?
I have an armor class of 1.
Okay, nice. And she has an armor class of 5. So, okay, the first of the vampires attack on Selena, and they deal. You see them deal. Okay, they go after Selena, and basically they are trying to. He's trying to bite her. He does bite her, You see blood pouring from her neck. And basically, you see her screaming. The second one goes after you, Bonesmith. And with armor class of 1, I think the one who's attacking you is the bald man, the bald two-headed man. He goes after you, tries to grab you, and he's not able to. And the third one, even though I'm letting you know he rolled really, really, really well. And the thing woman who was in front of the group goes after you, Lucky, and she rolled terribly, so she's not going to hit you. But I think she's not going to hit you because she's moving through all of the. I didn't tell you this room has several canvases and the stands where you will stand the canvases for you to paint on. So I think she's moving the stuff to get to you, Lucky. So she isn't able to hit you. However, uh, I'm letting you know, Dominic, that usually undead in this kind of game, in these classic D&D games, basically when undead get their hold on you, they drain your stats, they drain your levels. So if you are level 6, you can become level 5. If you are level 5, you can become level 4. Since there's only 2 of you, I'm using one of the alternative rules. Uh, and it will drain your con instead of draining directly your levels. But you are basically seeing Selena screaming over being called by the vampires. What do you want to do?
Okay, so if Bonesmith goes first in this round, Bonesmith would kind of uh the two-headed man didn't manage to grab Bonesmith, so Bonesmith will kind of ignore the two-headed man, and he's gonna run towards Celine and the short muscular man,
Yes.
and they're going to uh, attack the short man in the
Yeah,
hopes
sure.
that they will also let go of Selena with the attack.
Uh, roll your d20 for your attack, please.
So 20, I got a 19,
19 is super good. Yes.
and d6 for damage. I got a 6. Got a 6, and because we have the water paste from Selena, that would also add one. What does that actually add?
No, the blood added to your attack, and yes, only you are the only one that has it still during this round. So I was telling you, Lucky, the effect was shorter for you, but you do have it still. You do still have it, Bonesmith. So yeah, basically, it's a +2 to your attack, but not to your damage.
Okay, so I plus 2, so I just added the 2 to my 6.
There it is. Lucky, what do you want to do?
I think, I mean, as long as we're still locked in this combat, have we actually damaged any of these people up to this point?
Yeah, you have damaged the vampire
Yeah.
that's holding Selena right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, if he's got Selena, we need to take him down, so I will shoot him if I can.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So roll d20 for that. That is a 10 on the dice. At this point, I don't have backstab, so I think it's just a 10.
Okay.
I don't. I'm not very good at combat. I wonder if there's something better I could be doing here.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, even if you are not super good at combat, you certainly have your, for example, you have oil flasks on you, which classically you can start fires with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you have, you are good saving versus spells, which is important in this model, and you are able to. Oh yeah, and maybe it's not super relevant at this precise moment, but you are very good at move silently and at pickpockets.
Right. Okay. So I mean, I'm guessing that I missed on that one, but I'll probably see about maybe doing an oil flask on the next round if we're still engaged in combat at that time.
Okay, yeah, sure. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so the three vampires, the first one to attack will attack Selena, will fail. Why are my vampires rolling badly? And the spiders were rolling so good. Uh, Let me check once again their taco. They are taco 13. And with taco 13, it rolled a 15. Okay, with a 15, it will fight the. Okay, the second vampire, the. Like, the bald man will try to attack you, Bonesmith, and it's the only one that will be able to attack this round. So it will attack you, and touch plus energy drain. Yeah. So it will attack you, and you will receive 4 points of damage,
It's
and your constitution will be reduced by 2 points. So with your constitution reduced, your saving throws that for I'm sure one at least one of your saving throws also became a bit harder. But the calculation is automatic, so don't worry about that. And yeah, basically the three vampires. As you are fighting with these vampires, it's clear that well, these are vampires. These are also vampires nobles, so they are not super prepared for combat. They are very dangerous because they are vampires. But in fair combat, in a combat one on one, you will probably be able to take on them. So it's once again your turn. Lucky, are you doing any range attacks?
Um, I might light an oil flask and throw it if that would be a better way to handle things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which one of the vampires are you trying to
Well,
attack to
I
hit?
should probably not throw it at the person who's holding on to um,
Selena.
Bonesmith's mother.
Okay.
So I will toss it at. Are any of them not engaged in melee right now?
Are any of them not engaged in melee? The one that was in front of you, it's probably the one that's less engaged, which is the tall woman.
Okay, I'll send one at her. I'll mark that off on my character sheet. And what would I roll that as? Would it be counted as a missile attack, or how would you kind of handle that?
Yeah, an oil flask is a missile attack. It's technically a missile attack, but we are assuming that you are lighting it on fire. You are trying it, and the damage that you will do will be right now and two more rounds as they are covered in oil,
Okay,
in
do I need to
boiling
go ahead
oil.
and roll it?
Yeah, please roll your attack.
Okay, that's a 12.
That's a 12. And give me 1 second, please. With a 12, you hit armor class 7. Let me check on their armor class. Okay, you do not directly hit her, but you do a splash on the floor, which, let me check, which is basically one less round of damage, but you do get her. So roll me a d6, please.
D6, okay. 4.
En vez de dos rondas son... En vez de dos rondas es una ronda. One additional round of damage. And yeah, 4 points of... Basically, you throw it in front of her. She's covered in oil. You probably miss because she's the one that's closest to you. So maybe you were trying not to get yourself in the fire.
Sure.
Bonesmith, what do you want to do?
Bonesmith would continue their attack on the short man.
Okay. Roll me your attack, please.
So that's 15.
With a 15, you hit armor class 4, which is exactly the armor class of the vampire.
And for the damage, I got a 3.
How much, sorry?
3.
3. Okay, and I just realized I forgot to roll for Selena last round, so I'm going to roll it now and for this turn as well. So basically, Selena is trying to stab him with her knives, and she will deal 4 points of damage for the last round. And for this round, I roll exactly the same numbers. And for this round, one of her attacks hit, and the other one does not. And she deals 5 points of damage for this round. So, yeah, this vampire is looking basically really harmed. Not dead yet, but extremely harmed. And that's 1, 2, 3 rounds. 1, 2, 3 rounds. And yeah, the vampires are going to try to attack you. So first for Selena, which at armor class... Give me 1 second. Here you go. Which with a 12, do harm Selena. With a 13, do harm the Bonesmith. And with an 11, finally, the woman will be able to attack Lucky, even if she's covered in flames. So, that's... 1, 2, 3. So for Selena, he will make this much damage. Bonesmith, okay, the man that's attacking you, the two-headed man, goes after you, and he's only able to deal 1 point of damage for you.
Oh, he's lucky.
But your constitution will fall 2 more points. And Bonesmith, Lucky, you will take 3 points of damage, and your constitution will fall 3 points, which is becoming dangerous for you.
Mm-hmm. And you
Okay,
said I take 3. And you said I take 3 damage.
3 damage. 3 damage.
Okay.
So the woman goes after you, Lucky. You feel the heat. You feel the heat of her in flames. And just as she's touching you and holding you, you feel this burning sensation coming from your hands. One part is the fire, and the other part is basically she draining your constitution out of you. And uh, lucky, you have the woman in front of you. You still have a sort of a clear shot for the other two vampires. What do you want to do? I'm
Um,
telling you, this one you probably cannot one hit, but it's very weak.
okay. Well, I mean, the one in front of me who's attacking me is probably the one I need to focus on. Did we establish what their armor class is?
Yeah, they have armor class 4.
Okay, so that means I would need to get a 16 plus to hit them, I think.
You a 15 or a 16? Yeah. No, sorry, there's a problem here. Thank you for calling that to my attention because oh my god. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, for armor class 4 you will have to roll a 13 or more.
Okay.
13 or more.
Okay, I can work with that. Yeah, I will try to take a shot at her in hopes that I can land a hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since she's standing in front of you, you will have to roll 14 because you are taking a -1 penalty. But yeah, 14, you should be able to hit her.
All right, here we go. 15. Good.
15, that's great. Roll your damage, please.
Okay, and that's just a D8, or is it a D6 for weapons?
D6 for weapons.
D6, okay. And 5. Good.
5, that's great. That's 9. And roll me another D6 for the fire she's engulfed in, please.
Okay. 2.
2, and that's an 11 total damage that she's been dealt. The fire in front of you is basically dissipating, but yeah, she's not super hurt, but that's considerable to be honest. Bonesmith, what do you want to do?
Let's see, the short man is hurt and
It's very
probably,
hurt.
yeah, he probably won't die in this round if I just like alone.
If
S-
Selena manages to hurt him, he is probably dead.
Yeah, okay, so in this case, Bonesmith would put faith in their matter that she will take care of the short man. So he's gonna, so Bonesmith is gonna direct the attention towards the two-headed man that's in front of
Okay?
him, and they'll just whack them, they'll just hit them.
Yeah,
So
roll your attack, please.
I got a 20.
You got a 20? Okay, sure. And roll me your damage.
Damage is a 2.
Two. Not very much, but as you're hitting him, you realize that he seems to be much weaker than the other two vampires. He seems almost brittle, and yeah, you deal damage to him. Let me roll for Selena. Why is one of her attacks always dealing damage and the other one never dealing damage? Okay, give me 1 second. 15. Yeah, her second attack will not be hitting, but she deals 1d6 plus 2, and she deals maximum damage. With her maximum damage, plus, yeah, barely, rather exactly, she kills this man. And let me give me 1 second. Uh, because I have to check something about vampires. Mm, yes, this was the doubt I was having. Okay, as she stabs the vampire for the last time, the vampire basically dissipates into a cloud of gas. The vampire is trying to escape the room, and you hear this cry coming from the cloud, and she turns around and says, uh, they have no coffins here. If we manage to kill them, they will die. If we manage to damage them enough, they will die. And give me one more second to. That was this vampire. He is dead. I'm sure I'm missing something. Give me one second. Oh yes, I'm rolling for morale to see what happens to these vampires. Um, alignment, movement, morale. Okay, so let's see if the vampires run after this. Um, higher than higher than morale score, monsters suffer, surrenders, or flees. I rolled 11 for morale, and the vampires have 9 for morale. So the vampires definitely either surrender or flee. So I'm thinking, I'm rolling to see what happens to them. They will flee. Okay. As they see their companion being dropped dead, exploding in this gaseous form, they run out of the room, and Selena turns around to you and says, "Well done, children. I I knew I could count on you." And as the vampires start running, they open the door in front of you, and coming from this side, from the north side, just behind the vampires, you see the vampire lord turn around towards you, and he says, "I'm dropping." We are basically at half before the hour, so I'm closing the session. We're going to do some epilogues, and we're going to do some stars and wishes. But I'm closing in a few minutes. So the vampire lord appears before you, turns around with both doors open, and he tells the three of you towards Selena. Actually, she says, "Oh, my pet, my dearest pet. What has the cat dragged in today?" And he starts walking towards you. So we're going to do some epilogues. Lucky, what do you think will happen next after you have seen the Blood King? You have seen this memory through the telescope of the Blood King being turned into a vampire. You have figured out that our Selena has. You have confirmed Selena's suspicion that this ghostly woman, was probably the Blood King's mother. What do you think will happen next?
Hmm. Um, I'm thinking probably this might be a jumping off point for some additional quest that the Blood King puts upon us. You know, I'll return I mean, Bonesmith is kind of with your permission, but maybe like I'll return Bonesmith's mother to you if you do this for me or that for me. And so it's kind of a jumping off point where we're stuck in another kind of quest, working for a vampire lord, which is always a bad decision. So something like that, maybe.
Okay. Bonesmith, what do you think will happen next?
Hmm, I think Bones would try probably to negotiate with the Blood King at first, seeing as we did have a bit of issue with the spiders and the Vampanobos, but we probably think that we couldn't really handle the Blood King, and would probably not plea, but like try to strike a deal, would probably bring up how they saw the vision, how they became a vampire, and their matter. And as like I said, he would probably also agree to do something for the Blood King if it meant being able to be reunited with their matter, but also to maybe also conspire with Lucky about what all of this means and how they can possibly take down the Blood King.
Okay. So you parlay with the Blood King. Selena is basically just waiting for the moment to attack, uh, which, as you two have said before, you probably cannot do. You cannot probably kill the Blood King in your current state. So the Blood King, uh, basically amused by Selena and by you, tells you, uh, asks of you, here I am. So you say this is your mother child, as he's basically keeping Selena at arm's length. He's there. He's talking to you, Bondsmith.
Bonesmith would answer him truthfully and say, that is correct.
He says, "You know, I am nothing but I am not. I am nothing it but a hopeful romantic. What would you be willing to do to bring her back to your side?"
Bonesmith would kind of look towards Lucky, then back to the Blood King, and say, I know you've got an issue. There's something bad in you. You wouldn't be calling all these vampires to your manor if not. If you return my matter to me, I, and he's gonna kind of look towards Lucky, my compatriot, will help you deal with whichever issue is currently plaguing you.
Hmm. Okay. Give me, please. It's unlikely, but give me a charisma check, please.
Okay,
Charisma.
so a charisma is a D6 or is it a D20?
No, it's a D20.
D20. Oh, I got a nat one.
One.
A one.
Nice. Yeah, that's great for an ability check. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so the the Blood King rises incredibly tall. His robes flowing as if they were made out of liquid. You see his crown grow in his head, and he leans towards the both of you. You hear this sound coming from behind you, and as you turn around, you see two guards grab Selena, and he tells you, My child, yes, there is a problem here. There is a betrayer amongst my court, and I will give you the chance to spend these precious, precious hours trying to find out who it is for me. And if you manage, I will return your mother to you. And if you don't, you will have you will have to join the rest of the dinner, but not as a guest, but as part of the pantry. And he takes the two guards take Selena out. They basically bring her towards where you heard the mounts behind the wall, the place where Selena told you it was the Blood King's chambers. And the two of you, give me 1 second, are directed towards basically follow the Blood King through the stairs in this room, which has several statues. The statues move towards you as they try to attack, but the Blood King stops them. You go down the stairs and go into the dining room where 13 vampires, no, sorry, because you killed one, where 12 vampires are sitting around a large table, and they rise as the Blood King enters the room. And he says, "My friends, I have brought a couple of guests. Please refrain yourselves from taking them as snacks. They are my special guests tonight, and they shall make this night interesting." And we are going to end our session there, which will basically turn into this uh, dinner where you will find out who is betraying the Blood King.
Hopefully it's the short man that we already took care of.
Let me see something just in order for me to laugh, because maybe it was. Uh, okay, no, I'm just letting you know he wasn't, but it will have been interesting. So I'm going to finish the recording there. We are going to have a short debrief, a short starts and wishes. Especially Dominik, I would like to hear your opinion on the game, since it was the first time you played an OSR or this kind of game. But I'm going to finish the recording there. Thank you for watching if you are watching, and see you later. Goodbye. Stop